What's going on, everybody? It's ShamefulPenguin here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to craft the best chaos damage over time bow. This bow is going to be really good for things like Toxic Rain, Caustic Arrow, Essence Drain. Any of those builds, you're going to do a ton more damage if you have this bow in your inventory. So make sure you try to do this if you're going for bow items. If you're doing wands and stuff, then you're going to need to follow another guide. But for bows, this is probably best in slot for its price point. I would estimate that you have around 8 to 9 Exalt budget. And if you have that, you're in pretty good hands for starting off this craft. So let's get into it. So making that bow is you're gonna have to first buy a base of a bow. Item level 82. Try to get 82 if you can, but if it's like a ton more cheaper to get 83 or 84, then I would say get that. I say 82 because it's gonna help with step 2. You're gonna need a thicket, grove, or short bow. Make sure your bow is one of these bases because then you will have the best attack speed. Mariketh, some people use Mariketh because they have movement speed, but it has less attack speed, so it's going to show up on especially things like Toxic Rain. You're really going to notice the difference, so I highly suggest, especially on Toxic Rain, to use a thicket, grove, or short bow. Next, make sure it has no influence on it. If it has any influence, you cannot do any of the things I'm going to do later on. So a 6-link thicket, grove, or short bow 82 plus costs about 50C at the current economy right now. Could vary depending on which league you are. This is currently Ritual League. So once you do that, that's step 1. Now that step 1 is done, we're going to get to the next part, which is the first part, that's RNG. You're going to alt spam until you get the 31 to 35% damage over time multiplier. Craft of Exile estimates about 255. It's slightly cheaper if it's 82 or eye level 82. So you can do this. This is a great website. You just click the mod you want to happen. You can click your item level. So say if you had a 84 version instead, it's going to be 251. If you put no, if it's like eye level 100, 255. But if it's item level 82, you get the fewest amount, because the lowest level you can get this at is 82, and that's what we want. So this is the only mod we're looking for. We're not looking for any other mods. We don't care what else lands with us right now. We only want to roll this mod, and once you do that, your bow is going to look like this. So once you have this bow, we're going to get ready for the next part. But there's one scenario where you could also have this mod plus a prefix. So that's a big no-no, and we have to fix that. So I'm going to go off my notepad because you guys can just read this later on to just reiterate yourselves. I know that like when you're crafting this bow, you get kind of worried, so you read the same thing over and over again to make sure you're doing the right thing. That's why I made this little notepad, kind of made it for myself. So if it's the only mod, you're going to move to step 3. You're good. That's the RNG part, or one of the other RNG parts. Step 2 is you're going to have to get rid of that prefix, and there's 2 ways to get rid of that prefix. There's a few more ways, but there's 2 common ways to do it. You can use an Orb of Annulment, so it's a 50% chance you're going to brick the bow and have to do step 2 all over again, or you're going to be good and walk on over. And annulment's probably like what, 5C right now, pretty cheap. Or there's this other craft called split into 2 items. So it's people call it beast split, and it creates 2 bows, 2 identical bows, and it splits the mods in half. So that's good for us because our bow will have only 2 mods. So we're gonna go look at it. So you go here with half the mods on each item. So if I put this in here, this will be all weird, but since there's only 2 mods, one bow will have the multi-mod, or not the multi-mod, the damage over time multiplier, and one bow will have the other thing. But this beast, the spider, Phenomenal Plagued Arachnid, it costs about 50C to buy this if you don't already have this beast captured. So it costs about 50C, and that's a little pricey, but you're guaranteed to not break your bow and keep that damage over time multiplier. So once you have that, you have one bow that's useless, and you can just throw it away or do whatever you want with it. You can re-roll it again. but you have one bow that looks exactly like this. Maybe it's 35 to 40 or whatever, so it might be a little more than this, but your bow looks exactly like this with this mod, and it's magic. That's all you want. The next step is we're gonna try to regal it. So when I regaled mine, I got projectile speed, which is actually pretty good. Attack speed's probably the best thing you can get. So there's two options. When you regal, you're either gonna get a prefix or a suffix. You want a suffix. We need a suffix. So if you get a prefix, it's kind of sucky. We're gonna follow this little guide. So when we regal it, you get a suffix, you're good. You're gonna move on. Or you get a prefix, which kind of sucks. But you can use another beastcraft called add suffix, remove a random prefix. So if you go back to the game, you type in prefix. So you're gonna add a suffix and remove a random prefix. It's not really random because there's one prefix. So when you use this, your bow's gonna be just fine. So now you're gonna have a bow that kind of looks like this. And it's two suffixes. So that's perfect. That's what we want. The reason we want that is because we want to fill up all our suffix slots. So your next step is to craft cannot roll attack modifiers. This craft costs 1 exalt, and you can buy it off players from the Forbidden Trove TFT. That's a Discord group, and some people charge fees like 4 to 8 chaos per craft. So you'd have to pay like 1 exalt and 8C, and then give them the bow, and then they'll craft it. Make sure trading gets a little weird. If you're worried about losing the bow, make sure it's from a trusted person on that site. But your bow's gonna look like this with the craft. So you have all three of these are suffixes. I wish POB would show if it's a suffix or a prefix, but if I hover over mine, you can see that projectile speed is a suffix and damage over time multiplier is a suffix. So what you're gonna do next is, once you have that, you're gonna use an exalted orb on the item, which seems really weird, right? Kind of scary using big money, but if you think about it, we cannot roll a suffix because we have 3 suffixes, right? We have damage over time multiplier, we have projectile speed, in my case it could be any one of these, and then we have a crafted mod, which is the cannot roll attack modifiers. Rare items can only have 3 suffixes excuse me, and three prefixes and 3 suffixes. So if we use an exalt, we're guaranteed to get a prefix. That's really good. And since there's no influence, we only have these options. So we rolled cannot roll attack modifiers. So let's read through the things. Attack, 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 non-attack, attack, attack, attack. You get the point. The only mod we can roll is +1 to socketed gems. Since it's the only mod we can roll, we slam it and we're guaranteed to get the bow to look like this. +1 to socketed gems, damage over time multiplier, and whatever your suffix is. Projectile speed, attack speed is the best. Could be mana on kill, life on kill, stuff like that. So once you have that, which is actually the scariest part, because you're like, what if it doesn't work? What if I did something wrong? Just make sure when you're hovering over the item, you hold Alt, and when you're reading your items, they all say suffix. So now that we got that done, I don't even know why I tried to spell guaranteed. I'm just gonna erase that. Embarrassing. So now that we're done with that, comes the easy part. We're just gonna multi-mod. Multi-mod is when you this is in the way. When you can craft up to 3 modifiers. This is a bench craft. I actually did get this recently. Let me go to hideout. I'll show you guys. So you're gonna go to your crafting bench, right? I'm gonna slap your boy down here. You go down to other, go to the bottom. Wait, it's not bottom, is it? No, it's a suffix. I'm dumb. And you're gonna do can I have up to 3 crafted modifiers. You do this and you craft it, or you buy it from someone from TFT. This costs 2 exalts though, so yikes. But we have this bow, cannot roll attack modifiers. When you change the mod to multi-mod, it'll just take off cannot roll attack modifiers because we got our use out of it, and this is what the bow looks like in the end. So you're gonna do can I have up to 3 crafted modifiers. Then you're gonna craft the +2 to socketed support gems. So this is pretty pricey. It's 2 Exalts. I believe it drops from Katarina. So usually buy this because it's a pretty expensive, it's pretty hard mod to get. So go to someone on TFT to buy this if you need to, and then craft chaos damage over time multiplier, and it's a big roll. So now your bow looks exactly like mine, except for maybe not projectile speed, it might be attack speed or mana on kill or something like that, and then you're good. That's pretty much the end. So it's about 8 Exalts. This is a rough estimate because you can mess up if you're one of the guys that want to use an annulment orb for whatever reason. You might have to restart here. I didn't keep track of how many tries. This is 255 tries is about 70 C of alts, I believe. That's a rough estimate. So it's slightly over 8 Exalts at that point, but if you get pretty lucky, like you don't have to beast split, or if you don't have to use the remove add suffix or anything like that, then it could be cheaper than this. But on average, it's about 8 Exalts. I want to give you that estimation, so I want to make sure you guys have the budget for it. And that's pretty much it for the video. You just end up with this bow. And if you have any questions about crafting this bow, I've been researching it for a long time and making sure I was doing it right. If you have any questions, make sure you leave it down in the comment section. I'm going to try to leave all the information, even this little POB thing I made. Some of you might find it helpful. So, oh, this didn't rename. I'll make sure I rename this later. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you guys learned something, and hope you're enjoying this league. See you guys later. Peace.